I want to invite you to join me on your perimenopausal journey. I want to introduce you to a different holistic approach to your perimenopause. You know, the focus is always, from the medical approach, is always hormonal based. It's always about tackling your hormone imbalance. But what we need to remember is that your hormonal change is a natural process. Your ovaries are naturally declining in their production of hormones. It's a natural event. And what I want you to become aware of is that you can manipulate or change the hormones by introducing synthetic or bioidentical hormones if you want to. My invitation is to get underneath that, because if we just focus at the level of the hormones, we're not going deep enough. To go to the deepest part of our physical body, we have to go to the level of the cell, because it's at the cellular level that's where you're going to produce your hormones. And what you need at the cellular level to be able to produce hormones, aside from your 30 prostaglandins, your omega-3, your omega-6, your B3, your vitamin C, your vitamin E, your magnesium, your zinc, apart from needing those elements, at the basic cellular level, there are 4 things that need to be in place. You need to be well hydrated, because you need to have the correct pH, you need to have the correct oxygen levels, you've got to have the correct levels of light, and you've got to have the correct temperature, because those 4 lead to the correct functioning of that cell and those cells in your body, which then lead to the production of your hormones. And what's lovely to know, and hopefully reassuring to know with the menopausal journey, is that you do not just stop producing hormones. And this idea that we were supposed to drop dead at the age of whatever, 40 or 50 in the olden days, and that somehow, it's some miracle that we are surviving beyond that, and, we're going to have to pump ourselves full of hormones, is not true. And it's really to invite you to consider a different story, and to recognize that your body never works against you, and that it has the ability to produce hormones in your other endocrine glands. So you do not have to worry that, oh my goodness, my ovaries have stopped working, so now I'm not going to produce, my lovely estrogen, my lovely progesterone. And we have the other ones, prolactin, which is like the hug hormone. The oxytocin actually is the hugging hormone, really, we call it. It's the lovely hormone you get when you get a lovely hug. Those 4 hormones are produced in the other endocrine glands of the body. And the other thing I want to tell you that's such a wonderful miracle of the body is that we produce a precursor hormone called DHEA. And that precursor hormone can be turned into any hormone we need, whether that's a bit of testosterone, whether that's estrogen, whether that's progesterone, whether it's the others. It can also be turned into cortisol. And so a lot of the work I do with my clients is to get underneath your stress. And stress is anything, any thought, any belief, any feeling that is out of alignment with your true self. And your true self, your inner being, your soul, whatever you want to call it, your source, is perfect. It's the mirror image of God, okay? And it's the true likeness of God. And we move away from that just by being on this planet, because the different experiences we have, particularly as children, because we don't have rational thinking. So a lot of what happens to us, or everything that happens to us, we absorb like sponges, and we try to adapt ourselves to cope, because we see whatever happens to us that's negative as something being wrong with us. So we try to adapt ourselves. So from the moment we're born, we're experiencing things that question this perfection. And we then take on these personas, these conditionings, these habits, these ways of being in order to try and cope on what is quite a difficult experience on this planet Earth. One of the reasons it is so difficult is that our soul has chosen that it wants to evolve. And you don't evolve through ease, you evolve through challenge. So maybe your soul has chosen that it wants to develop the qualities of compassion or courage or generosity or love or faith. And therefore you will attract experiences to you that will test that and will help you to evolve that if you can overcome those tests and those challenges, if you don't get swamped by them and think that you're not good enough and start turning on yourself. It's not easy. This life on earth is not easy. So stress is any thought, feeling, emotion, belief that is out of alignment with your true self. And we spend the whole of our adulthood trying to undo the beliefs we have and have developed as children. And that can be quite a challenge if you're not doing this work consciously, if you're not consciously aware of this. And stress causes dis-ease in the body. And if the stress is not dealt with, if it's left and not dealt with adequately, it will build up and create physical disease. So where dis-ease or symptoms start is always emotional first, mental emotional first, and then your physical vehicle will manifest it. And what perimenopause does is highlights everything. During your perimenopause, when your hormones are changing, everything is shifting, everything's being stirred up, and you are being invited to address all of those childhood wounds, all of those physical symptoms that have been dragging on since perhaps you were younger or in your 30s or whatever. You can't get away with anything. And if you try to distract yourself or numb yourself by drinking alcohol, by eating chocolate, and I'm not talking about the odd glass of wine or the odd piece of chocolate, I'm talking about consistently numbing yourself, then you are going to suppress your toxic load. You're going to build your toxic load through suppression, and you are going to struggle in the perimenopause because we are so sensitive. We cannot cope with not being in alignment with ourselves by not following our true heart, our true feelings. The perimenopause will tell us stop, because we're so sensitive, you know, it's, as I keep saying, an invitation. It's let's clear our shit so that we can move into the fourth phase from your 60s onwards without being struggling with, you know, aches and pains and needing hip replacements and osteoporosis and all of the so-called aging diseases, you know, and the lack of energy and all of that. We have to work in the perimenopause to really turn the spotlight on ourselves, to take care of ourselves, to be compassionate to ourselves, to develop self-love, fierce self-love, fierce self-compassion, to address some of these habits that we have that are not serving us, and all of that kind of thing. And what it does, that roller coaster of the perimenopause, that wild woman phase, where your emotions are going from one extreme to the other. One day you feel confident, the next day you want to curl up in a little ball. All of it is highlighting to you the need to take care of yourself, the need to stop and take care of yourself, seek outside help if that feels right for you, or do the internal work yourself. You have to do the internal work anyway, but, you know, go inside yourself, do the research yourself if you want. Much better to get some help. I get coaching and all sorts. And therefore you can move into the fourth life phase without the fear that something terrible is going to happen to you, that you're going to develop some awful aging disease and so on and so forth, because you're tuned in, you're listening to your body, you're listening to your heart. What do I want? How do I want to feel? All of that stuff. and you can move into the fourth life phase without that fear, feeling confident that you're taking care of yourself, that you've got your own back, and that any physical symptoms you get are nothing to be scared of. They're a moment in time, a moment captured in time. I've got an achy knee. I've got a rash. I'm getting hot flushes. What does it mean? And it simply means that there's inflammation. And if there's inflammation, there's acidity. And if there's acidity, there's dehydration. And we need to get underneath that, not just on a physical level, if it's going on and on. Maybe we need to look at your mental, emotional stress as well. So it was really just an opportunity to jump on here and invite you to work with me, because I have this incredible menopausal package. And if you go to fullernutrition.com, you will find the package called Balance Hormones, Balance Me, and have a good read and check out what I offer in it. And it's really just to help you on your journey. You deserve to feel good. You deserve to feel back in control. You deserve to feel that the menopause isn't this awful, terrible, downhill, struggle, and you're never going to feel good again. And that the next thing that's coming around the corner is old age. I don't want you to feel like that. I want you to feel empowered and strong and confident. I want you to know that you have a right to a beautiful life and that your energy levels don't have to be on the floor. Yes, you have to honor your need to rest. Yes, you do. And during the perimenopause, you need to rest more. You need more time by yourself. You need more time in the woods. You need more time being. And allowing yourself to feel into your different emotions and to feel into everything that's coming up for you. Yes, you do need to do that. So what I do is help you with different tools and strategies to get underneath what's stopping you from feeling great, both nutritionally, both emotionally, and also as regards your mindset, your beliefs, how you think and feel. And all of that works together along with your lifestyle habits to help you create a way of living that makes you feel good. And it's sustainable. It's not cut out the chocolate, cut out the alcohol, don't have fun, don't socialize. It's not about that. It's about creating a way of living that works for you. That doesn't mean you have to cut out everything you enjoy. It doesn't have to be like that. It can be a gentle journey, a supportive journey. So jump on board, come and take a ride with me, and let's see how this experience can be for you. It's so worth it. I can't tell you how incredibly amazing it is to do this work, and I'm always honored to do this work. So jump on board, and if it's not you, then maybe it's a friend or somebody else who's struggling, who needs help to understand their perimenopause and wants to discover more of the jigsaw pieces that's not just about putting hormones in. I don't even put hormones in. I create the foundation for healing and health, for the body to create its own healing from within. And the last piece is just to say again about that DHEA, is the potential is incredible for you to either produce cortisol, stress hormone, or to produce estrogen and progesterone. Whatever it is you need in that moment, the body can produce for you. You have to get out of its way. You have to deal with your negative thoughts and emotions. You have to deal with your negative habits. And then you can create the balance that you are so desperately looking for from within. Okay, lots of love. Lovely to see whoever's watching. Much love. And if you've only just come on, you can watch the whole video in a minute. Okay, bye.